Webtoon fans, unOrdinary fans, what is good? The answer to that question, of course, is unOrdinary. Unordinary is what's good, and we got a chapter 174 review because this chapter was just flames. Let's get into it. Now, unOrdinary chapter 174. Before I really get into this, I just want to say I think all Webtoons fans know that you can buy the next 3 chapters early in a fast pass if you buy some Webtoons coins. So if anybody watching this has done that, I have not, so please do not go spoiling me in the comments or something like that. But let's just get into this chapter review because there was some heat in this chapter. So as we all know, John has been going off the wall. He's been like pounding people up. You know what I mean? He's been sending them to the hospital. Like he's been destroying the structure of the Wellston school. Like John been going psycho. Like he just been snapping. Like his old personality he's been trying to bury has been coming to the surface. He's basically been going insane. His mental sanity is crumbling, and he's getting like. And that, like, expounded. Like, all of this culminated in this last chapter. So, as we know, Serafina went to talk to him. He said a bunch of soul-crushing things to her. Like, he was nasty. You know what? He said some of the most hurtful things one could say. And she started crying, and she slapped him. And slapping John isn't the best idea you could do. Of course, Serafina obviously wouldn't know that, but like she did it. So he's like, you slapped me, and like he's getting mad and all that, and he's starting to become abusive and violent. And like you're thinking here, like us as the fans, we're like, you cannot hit Serafina. Like, if you do that, what was this all for? You went off the walls originally because you were mad about how people were treating her. And, of course, he was angry and bitter at, like, Arlo for starting all of that stuff. But, like, even so, Serafina was a big catalyst in all of this coming to pass. So, you're like, he can't really do that. And then she, like, was walking away. She had her back turned on him. And, like, in his mind, he started to see Claire. And he's like, Claire, don't you dare walk away from me. And when that happened, like, you just, that's just so, it's so sad. Like, on one hand, you're like, ooh, you know, that's some good character development. That's some good, like, circle around it, like, come full circle. But still, it was really, really sad. And you could see in that moment, like, that was all he needed to say for, like, us as the fans to just see the major PTSD he was having and, like, how he was having a mental, emotional, nervous breakdown. And it was pretty sad. And, like, Serafina's like, Claire, like, who the heck is Claire? You know what I mean? And then he's like, I beat you up once. I'm not afraid to do it again. And then my favorite character pulled up, and like I know some people are like, bro, how he your favorite character? Like this dude is a jerk. He's no. Make way for the king, Arlo Sama. Okay, I know this isn't an anime. I know it's not a manga, but I still had to attach this. I still had to attach the Sama. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not a manga. It is a webtoon, but still, like, you know, King Arlo, my boy, Arlo, like, you know, you've seen those Katakuri worshippers in the One Piece, like, Discord servers, like, you know, all the YouTube, like, you know, the worshipping of Katakuri, like, nobody giving respect to my boy Arlo like that, and, like, maybe he needs a, like, you know, I don't know why I love Arlo so much, just Arlo is my boy, like, you gotta love Arlo, okay, like, I guess you don't gotta love Arlo. I know so many people hate him, but I love Arlo. Like, you know, come on, it's Arlo. It's King Arlo. So Arlo pulls up and saves the day, and he saves Serafina from potentially getting her butt whooped by John. And John's like, who said you could be here? Get out! And boom! Like, he punches him in the face, and he's like, argh. And then Arlo didn't even King Arlo! My mans did not even flinch. He was just like, boom. And we have seen, like, and this was more impactful than people give it credit for, because we have seen that when John punched Arlo before, Arlo would go like, and Arlo would be like, oh! Like, Arlo would just be like, bam! Like, it would hurt. Arlo would go blind, and Arlo was like in fear of John. But this time, Arlo, like all you saw in Arlo's eyes was like pity and disgust. Like even in a drawing, you could see that like the artwork, top tier artwork. Did I forget to say that? Like boom, like Arlo's just like Arlo, like the fist, boom. I know I'm hung up on this too much, but like I love this moment. Like John had been beating Arlo into submission for so long, and when he punched Arlo didn't even flinch. Arlo just like boom. He just take that hard, I'm sorry. I just like you gotta love Arlo. Arlo, the king of Wellston High. Okay, but yeah, let's just move on. And Arlo started spitting facts. Like he started spitting facts. So he like grabs John and he's like, you can hit me all you want, but what are you doing? Seraphina's the one you've been trying to protect all this time. Remember all the times you harassed me because she was hurt, or all the times you hospitalized somebody for touching her, and now you gonna turn on her like this? Like wake up. Like look at who you're threatening. And John, but like John was too far gone. As Seraphina said in the last chapter, he's gone. My boy John. Like when Arlo walked in, he was like Arlo, like you planned this, like you're conspiring against me. And then he remembered that dude telling him that Claire was talking to Jack, and they were bringing all those people to conspire against John and take him down and beat him up. Like John was remembering that, and he's like, it's happening again. Like oh no, like the PTSD. Like the emotion was palpable. Like oh, I'm a fan. I'm not in this world, but dude, I am not in this world, but I was feeling these emotions, Mike. I was feeling this chapter. This chapter was a dagger. Boom. Like, oh, an emotion dagger. Like, it stabbed me. Like, I didn't have my defenses up. Like, I wasn't expecting this much. I wasn't expecting this much. Oh, I love this webtoon. But anyway, like, John's like, you conspired against me, and he's like, he's getting all hysterical, and he's like, Arlo, I should have known you'd do this. You messed this up for me too, just like you messed up everything else. I should have known you'd mess it up and manipulate Seraphina and get her and turn her against me. And he's like, why would you do this? What do you have against me? And Arlo's just like, you never learn, do you? And John's just like, shut up. And he's like, get out of my sight, both of you. You're both dead to me. And then Seraphina just stares at him without a word for a little bit. And like she'd been crying before, but the tears are gone now. Like she's not crying no more. She just turns around and walks out of the door and intends to walk out of his life. And it's just so... That moment, it was so finalizing, man. Like all this drama, all this hysteria, all this sadness, emotions, anger, pain... it just all ended with her, boom. She had the chance to help John there. I was hoping Seraphina would, like, hug my man. Like, hug him and, like, stop him and calm him down and stop him from flipping out and breaking down like he was doing. But Seraphina should have been through too much trauma, too. Like, she didn't have that capacity. And just, like, the moment where it was, like, to help or not to help. And she decided, nope, I'm not doing this no more. This man has betrayed me too much. And she just walked out the door. That was, let me tell you, that was impactful. That was impactful, man. Like, this chapter, even though it was basically just one glorified argument, like, this had so much to unpack, man. Like, this chapter, 174, so much to unpack. Like this chapter was no joke. And then Naruto walks out. And, like, that finalizing moment is expounded upon even more. We see John sobbing on the ground, and he's thinking, why? Why does it always end up like this? And then you see Seraphina and Arlo. Arlo's like, he needs help. He's too lost in his own head. Nobody can even get to him, not even you. Then Seraphina's like, even me? What am I? And Arlo's like, his friend? And she goes, no. She said no. 2-letter word. No. She said no. I'm just a cripple. She said no, I'm just a cripple. And the rest of the school is garbage. If that's how he sees us, he wouldn't listen to what we have to say. Then you just have to remember how he told her in the last chapter, "You're a cripple. Like, why are you even stepping up to me?" And like, the emotions, man. The emotions, man. The emotions. Oh my goodness. So much to unpack from this chapter. And then we see Seraphina. John had told her at one point, stop acting like a know-it-all and think about yourself or something like that when he was raging at her. And she's like, at least he got one thing right. And she says to Arlo, I'm gonna go after Terrence. And then Arlo's like, second year, the ability to turn invisible? That's interesting. I've had an interest in him too. Terrence about to get his butt whooped, man! Like, you know Terrence. We all know Terrence. We heard about Terrence. That snitch. That stalker. Like, oh man, I can't wait for us to, like, meet Terrence and to see him. Like, I can't wait to see Arlo beat that moron down to size if he turns out to be a moron. Like, it could be that we're all wrong about Terrence and they're wrong about Terrence and, like, all this stuff. Like, we don't know much yet. At least, I don't know much yet because I haven't read up to chapter 177. Because as a lot of people I know, and a lot of people I know of, and the majority of the readers of unOrdinary, we ain't trying to pay right now. At least right not now, so, like, we're at 174. Like, do not spoil. And, like, yeah, it was sad. Like, John, my man needs therapy. And he needs a friend, but now he ain't got either. Like, somebody call Mr. Doe. Somebody call John's dad. Like, come on, call my man's dad. Like, like it was he just crying on the ground, bro. Oh man, it was this chapter was a whole bunch of feels and sadness, man. I absolutely loved it. 10 out of 10 chapter. unOrdinary has the sauce. Like, binging unOrdinary during quarantine was such a good choice of mine. Like, man, I am hooked on this series now. Better than My Hero Academia. I didn't say it. Like, I did not say it. So nobody come at me in the comment section and rip me apart for saying it because I never actually finished it. Maybe I was trolling, maybe I wasn't. You'll never know. You can't get me for that. And I actually am considering buying webcoins maybe sometimes to, like, you know, keep up on unOrdinary and some other series. Maybe a series like Urban Animal if I ever decide to talk about that. Or Tower of God. Like, I don't know, but I'm considering doing it. Maybe not. That remains to be seen. But unOrdinary chapter 174, that was the sauce. The heat. The amazingness. I don't know how to say. I don't know how else to say that. Amazing chapter, man. My predictions for next chapter: Seraphina and Arlo are gonna pull up on Terrence, and John's just gonna be sobbing, and maybe somebody will call his dad. I don't know. Like maybe not his dad, but John sobbing his heart out and Terrence getting pulled up on, I'm relatively sure of. Those are my predictions for next chapter. But thank you for watching. If you enjoy my content, and only if you enjoy my content, like this video, subscribe, and turn notifications for more anime content, One Piece content, which is an anime, but still, that's the primary basis of this channel at the moment. And now, the new addition, webtoons content, and maybe unOrdinary content. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna do a chapter review next week. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have bought some web coins and I'll be talking about the latest chapters. Maybe some versus battles, some power scaling. Who knows what could go on with unOrdinary? But, like, you know, this chapter with some flames, and yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next video.